a blackout. And you're telling people progress. Cost of living gone up 100%, yet you give public servant less. Mr. President, listen to the people. Search your soul and you will confess. I want you try surviving on the public base, then you're gonna know but stress. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up. The people fed up. They don't drive no fear with the citizen. They may want the people speak out. Freedom of speech done gone inside the gutter. Knock off when you open your mouth. Discrimination in entertainment. And you're talking about Po Guyana. When the Ministry of Culture keep the big shows, one set of girls and banner. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up. The people fed up. Every picture you take and promise you make, everything you do is about clouds. Then you come into me for I shake your hand, there's nothing to smile about. Corruption inside every sector, but when it comes to them they send you. Try investigate efficiency, right? Go talk to Baratans too. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up. The people fed up. Up on the dirty water, low pressure, want scream and tell somebody. Imagine 1500 US and they're telling me super salary. I don't put up on the unit
there and fabricate that. Unless you say who the person is, I can't comment on anonymous people.
Okay, well, let's talk about specific individuals. What is your relationship with Mr. Su Jurong?
Su? Oh, Su.
Hawk?
You said valid votes counts, votes cast.
Yeah, my name is Jasmine Caldata, Francis Vietnam, and since 1965 I become a voter, and I always place my ex next to the cup, and what they are doing today, I can't take it. So I have no more vote to give to PPP anymore. I'm not going to vote anymore no more. If they have to lose by one vote, they're losing it by data.
Oh, Jesus Christ, if cost of living double, I don't know what happened. A pound of sugar is $300 already. Flour, everything gone up. Everything just raising. You gotta get about $40,000 for buy good ration. You gotta get 3 man now. A weekend man, a monthly man, and a fortnight man.
Basement level vibes with another one, straight up blackness. Aye, who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, I do it for the love, him not do it for no money. Straight up, him attack, educating everybody. Big up my friends and big up my family. Turn on the radio, catch the vibes, it's integrity. Straight up, Benskop stands for unity. One people, one nation, one destiny. Free up the truth in the air, even the blind can see. The deaf can hear, the dumb can talk, the cripple can walk. Boom, who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Migrants Cup. Who tell the truth? Migrants Cup.
All right, guys, let's get straight down into business. It's 39 minutes after 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. It's 39 minutes after 9 o'clock in Guyana. That's where that billboard is. Guyana, compliments of, you know who? Jack Dale and these guys have decided that they're going to put up this billboard. It has never happened before. This is not a private billboard, mind you. This is money that is paid for by taxpayers of Guyana. This is compliments of the wicked and corrupt individuals in the PPP regime, the installed PPP regime, the corrupt PPP regime, the apartheid PPP regime. This is what is happening in Guyana with taxpayers' monies. I don't know how you guys feel about this, but I feel a way about this, that in Guyana, these vagabonds in the PPP, this is how they are running a country. Now, if a private citizen does these sort of things in their yard, their space, their private property, yes, we can understand that. Fair enough. But what is your take on this, members of the audience, those who are watching right now? What is your take on this? Whether you support Donald Trump or not, but this is a billboard in Guyana. Compliments of taxpayers of the Guyanese taxpayers. Sorry, Guyanese, you know what I mean when I say Guyanese. What is your take on this? Isn't it obvious that Jack Dale, they want to save themselves from going to jail? And so they're doing everything to lick up, suck up, and they are quite known for doing those sort of things. Kiss up, lick up, and suck up. And I just really do mean it from a political standpoint. And those who interpret it the other way, fair enough. It's your right to do that. But this is what is happening in Guyana. This is what the PPP has reduced Guyana to. Would you see a billboard in Washington, D.C., with someone who has been elected president of Guyana or any other part of the Caribbean? Would you see this? And thank you, Rajan Bin. Is not only do they lick up, suck up, or whatever, they chatty. And many of you know what chatty means, right? Monesh, Ramnarain, and others, you know what chatty. That is what they're doing right now, chatting. They're selling the country out. They are selling the country out. That is what they're doing. They're giving up. They put their hands up. They put everything up, and they're bending over backward. They're selling the country out. This is why you've got to go out and vote in your numbers to get rid of the PPP, the corrupt PPP regime. Corrupt PPP regime. And not only this here, not only this, I want you guys to take a look at this and tell me who you recognize. Who exactly do you recognize here? Who do you recognize? Take a look. Take a look. Who do you recognize? Sam Hines at the inauguration of Donald Trump, or what is supposed to be the inauguration of Donald Trump. And look at what Sam Hines is doing. Holding a Make America Great Again. And Sam Hines is supposed to be, mind you, Sam Hines is supposed to be the ambassador, Guyana's ambassador to the United States of America. Can you imagine? Can you guys imagine? How do you guys feel about this situation? Tell me. Talk to us. Talk to us. I'm calling someone. I'm calling someone right now. I hope they answer. How do you guys feel about this situation? Talk to us. I'm calling someone. I've got to call someone right now. I don't know how you guys feel about this. I don't know where Guyana is heading. I just don't know. I hope the person answers. I'm not going to tell you guys who I'm calling. Okay. They're probably not going to answer, but this doesn't look good. This doesn't look good. This may be the first time in history. Yeah, if they call back, they call back. But maybe the first time in history we're seeing this thing. This is not right. It's just not right. Sam Hines is behaving in this manner. A diplomat representing not the PPP, but representing Guyana, decided that he's going to go and hold on, hug up, kiss up, make America great again placard. Make America great again placard. Could you guys believe this? I mean, seriously. I'm reading some of your comments. Some of you think it's Sam Hines I'm calling. You know. Let me see. Some of y'all think it's Sam Hines I'm calling. I don't know. But this is just not right. This is not right, guys. Somebody says, make Sam Hines stupid again. How much stupid can you make a person? He's already stupid. Make Sam Hines stupid again. Oh, gosh. How low can these people stoop? How low? This is a shame. This is a disgrace. I don't know what's going on. I don't know how you guys feel about this. I just don't know how you guys feel about this at all. I just don't know how you guys feel about this. But this is just not right. This is just not right. This is unacceptable that you have a diplomat that is supposed to be representing the country goes to an inauguration of a president of another country and holds up a Make Sam Hines dumb again placard. Make Sam Hines stupid again placard. Feel free, guys, express yourselves. Tonight is one night you can express yourselves. It's okay. You can use S, you can use whatever, but just for tonight. Just for tonight. Just for tonight. It's not right. It's just not right at all. It's just not right. Nobody has issued a statement against this in Guyana. The guys in the opposition, on the opposition bench, they need to say something about this. Desiree Simons is asking, no guest tonight. Sam Hines. That's it. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about this whole situation? Something stinks. It's not adding up at all. It's not making sense. Make Sam Hines stupid again. Make Sam Hines stupid again. That's what it's about. And so they programmed him. They probably gave him an injection. And look, he's sleeping. Sam Hines is sleeping. Why is it all these PPP folks are sleeping? Why? Why? Again, the question is, why is it that all of these PPP folks fall asleep? Just like that, they just fall asleep. If they don't fall asleep, they scream. They holler, all manner of things. That is what they do. Why do they do it? Why? What is happening with them? Are they sick? Well, mentally, we already know what's happening there, if you know what I mean. But are they really sick? Why are they behaving in this manner? Every single thing, they fall asleep. They sleep. Some of them steal, they steal. Some of them go out with little girls and they have S with the little underage girls and all manner of things. That is what the PPPC guys do. And that is why it's important that you vote these vagabonds. I repeat, you vote these vagabonds out of office. They have got to go. And mind you, they are trying every trick in the book. Every single trick in the book, they are trying. Everything they are trying. You've got to be careful, guys. And that is why when they come into your community to check your identification cards, to say that they are there to register you, and lots of people are complaining. I hope it's something that the opposition are well aware of, that there are PPP folks going into certain communities and taking their identification cards, information, and all manner of things. Guys, I don't know how you guys feel, but the PPP has to go. I noticed Tony Hack is saying the opposition is sleeping too. With all that nonsense is happening in GT, the opposition is sleeping too. For the most part, some of them aren't sleeping. Some of them are working. They're hitting the streets. And we got to say kudos to those who are working hard, those who are hitting the streets. And last night, I identified a member of parliament, Nima Flu Best. Nima Flu. We need more of Nima Flu, indeed. Hard worker. She doesn't complain. And the other thing, you like public servants who reach out, and not only just reach out, they're very cordial. And I can say that about Nima Flu. She returns your call, she answers, she gets things done. That is what she does, and that is what you need from public servants, right? That is what you need from your MPs. You don't need any highfalutin person. They don't care about the people. They hardly work. They do sweet boy and sweet girl job, and then when you confront them, they get upset about it. Nima Flu Best is just the kind of person we need. We need more of Nima Flu Best. And all of my experiences with her and she doesn't have to. I don't think I've ever met her. But I just like her spirit. I like some of your spirit there in the audience, and some of you, gosh, there's another story. Well, that's how I feel about most of those other MPs. That's another story. And some of them have started a whistle stop, just once or twice, and whistle stop, done. But I've noticed, though, this guy is not an MP, but he's a councillor in Corriverton. What's his name? You guys know Anil. Is it Anil Sugrim? Pastor Anil Sugrim. He came here a couple of times on the program. I noticed what Anil Sugrim is doing there on the quarantine, Corriverton. He's walking into those villages with a team. They have on their green T-shirt. I love that. I just love that. I love that spirit. I love that energy. And I want to say kudos not only to Anil Sugrim, Pastor Anil Sugrim and his team. They're walking around. They're doing their job. And good. And he's not an MP, at least not as yet. And I hope when he becomes an MP, he will continue doing exactly what he's doing, because they should put him on the list to become an MP. But some people, when they're not MPs, they work hard, and then when they get in there, they change. I hope folks like Anil Sugrim doesn't change. Some of them, a lot of them that I know currently who are MPs, guess what? Before they became MPs, oh gosh, you could feel as though they're ready to run away with Guyana. They're ready to run away with Guyana, right? And then when they become MPs, they think that they are bigger than God, they're bigger than some king of England, they're bigger than everybody, and that's a problem. That has been a problem, and they get quite a few of them are like that. So guess what? Anil Sugrim and team on the quarantine continue the good work. We appreciate, at least I appreciate, and I'm sure most of our listeners do appreciate what Anil Sugrim and the team out on the quarantine. Yep, that's what they're doing. So Here it is, and I hope others, the MPs and them, will follow suit, because they have an MP in New Hampshire, in Berbice, Region 6. We're not seeing a lot. We're not seeing a lot of those MPs. Like, for example, they got a guy by the name of Pandit, Dinesh is it Dinesh Jaigo? Let me see if you guys know your MPs, right? And he's supposed to be a relative. We're supposed to be Mati, right? But I can't. Pandit Dinesh Jaiprashad. He is the MP for the opposition in Region 6. Oh, man. Oh. Not because I know Dinesh Pandit, MP. Not because I know him. I will call him out. And that's what people just get vexed. They believe that because you know them and they're public servants, they're MPs, that you ain't gonna call, don't call them out. You know, them ain't gonna walk, them ain't gonna do nothing. And we must just sit down and shut them out. Dinesh Jaiprashad, what's going on? You get Anil Sugrim doing the job of an MP. And he's not, Jaiprashad is not the only MP for Region 6. Like, all of them sleeping. When you tell them they're sleeping, they get upset. They only want us to laugh and say, kya, Priya sleeping, right? Of course, Priya sleeping, all of them sleeping. But those in the opposition who are sleeping, who are not doing their job, they expect us not to call them out. But I will call them out. And if MP Jaiprashad is upset at me, he can send me a WhatsApp message. It's okay. But the people need to see more of you out there in Region 6. All of the MPs in Region 6. Y'all make Anil Sugrim. If he's watching tonight, y'all make Anil Sugrim doing better than the MPs in Region 6. Every single time you turn, Anil there with the crew. And Anil don't make joke for post to the camera too. You know, he wants the camera to video him, to take a picture, let you go. And that is politician. That is good work. You can't say you're doing work when people don't see you doing anything. Oh, don't worry, bench up. We walk in, you know. We walk in. We're doing a lot of work behind the scenes. No, you can do a lot of work behind the scenes, but optics sometimes people need to see the evidence of that. They don't need to take your word for it. They just don't need to take your word for it. And so tonight, we salute Anil Sugrim and his team. Guess what Anil did? Anil Sugrim left the counselor work, right? Left his pastor work all the way under quarantine, jumped in a bus or a car or whatever, and traveled all the way to Georgetown to protest in front of GCOM. How can we not appreciate folks like that? Why can't we appreciate folks like that? And then you have MPs. MPs living right there in Georgetown, and they don't go out and support anything. They just don't. God in heaven knows what most of those MPs do in the opposition. They do not go out. They do not support anything. They do not fight for anything. But they sit down, and they receive their salaries of close to $300,000 per month and their benefits, and they don't go out. But guys like Anil Sugrim that left all the way from the quarantine, all the way till a topside, Skeldon. How many of you know that we call Skeldon topside? All the way at topside. And he travels to Georgetown with maybe some other folks to protest. That is the sort of fight we need. Those are the sort of fighters we need, right? And once you fight, once you show that you're willing to stand up and represent the people, thumbs up. You can't want to do lazy man work or lazy gal work and expect people to appreciate y'all. And then when people don't appreciate y'all, some of them, their bums just raise. And then they sue behind your back that you don't like them, and you don't, we're not in this here. We're not in this here for who like you and who ain't like. Do your work and we will praise you. You don't do your work and we're going to call you all Ganesh. I should not be doing that. or we're going to call out others, Karen Cummings and all these. I shouldn't be doing that. I'm not here to call any names, but people need to do their work. They don't need to run a market and stop and talk to a couple people and then holler they do whistle. You know, remember a whistle? Whistle stop. Whistle stop. Don't ask me about Daniel Seram. Daniel Seram, like he don't give up. Like he don't put his hands in the air and he don't give up. Good night to Daniel if he's watching. In case you guys don't know, Daniel Seram is actually the regional chairman for Region 4. But we don't hear a thing about Daniel Seram. Not a thing about Daniel Seram. Like they have Guyanese do have a sign, right? Not a thing. Right? I don't know what's going on, but these guys don't want you to call them out. They get vexed. They think it's something personal. Some of them, you should hear what some of them will say, oh, Ben Shop, is who paying Ben Shop? Ben Shop working with this organization, this thing, all manner of things, Ben Shop. All manner of things because you call them out, they're vexed, their bumps raised. You know, their bumps raised. Yanet Elias, don't start me up. Please, don't start me up. Telling me about Devon Sears, different Sears. He and all is another one. You don't see these guys. You just don't. All these things happening in Guyana, and you hardly see these guys. Mind you, as we get back to Priya, we forgot about the Queen's College situation, right? Nothing else about the Queen's College situation. Nothing else, right, Nigel Price? Nothing else. Mr. Wayne sees in the audience. Oh, man. Yeah, good, Wayne. And nothing else, right? Francine Cruz gone now, picking on Aubrey Norton. Francine Cruz is saying they're waiting for Aubrey Norton's strategy. Come on. Oh, that's another story, but that's okay. And so Priya Manikchan and the Queen's College situation, y'all notice that it died down? And if you check on some of y'all opposition MP pages, check on those opposition pages, you will see that 95 or 98% of them had nothing to say about the allegations of corruption or conflict of interest at QC. Dawn Holder Cush resigned because she was uncomfortable, and she took a very, very honorable and respectable position. She resigned from the board. We're not hearing anything. What's going on with the deal? We're not hearing anything from Marcel Gaskin. We're not hearing anything from Priya Manikchan. Hot and sweaty, as though she's some sort of a bully, trying to talk and justify that it was nice and it was this and it was transparent. No, it wasn't. It wasn't nice. It wasn't transparent. There's this perception of corruption, nepotism, and hypocrisy. But hardly any one of those MPs from the opposition came out and confronted Priya on the issue. Now, y'all know why, right? Y'all know why these things happen. Because there are some MPs in the opposition that they can call up some ministers and get favors here, favors there, whether it's a land favor, whether it's a this favor, whether it's a get a child or somebody friend to some better school. Y'all will be surprised to know the sort of deals and the deal and the wheeling and the friendship. And so when it comes to confronting them, the PPP, the corrupt PPP regime, enough of them can't. Enough of them can't, because they don't want to hurt their friends in the PPP regime. They just don't want to hurt them. And that's the truth, right? That's the truth. I notice Annette Ferguson is in the audience. She's waiting to get a big up from me, right? Annette is, I got to give Annette credit, She pushes herself to get a quick big up. But we're not going to big up Annette tonight. We're going to say good night to Member of Parliament, Annette Ferguson. I'm not sure if Annette is in the audience. When was the last time you attended that protest in front of GCOM? Imagine we have, how many MPs we have, and all those big people at Congress Place, the big people at the AFC office, and so forth. Why can all of these, if all of them go out in front of GCOM, I'm sure that we'll get 200, 300, 400, 500 people. We get more people attending bingo at Congress Place than we have folks attending GCOM, the protest in front of GCOM's headquarters. You call up bingo right now, and you're going to see the amount of people, because somebody wants to win something, right? And people love a bingo. So you have a bingo crowd, people are going to show up. And don't get me wrong, I'm not a bingo kind of guy, but I've been going to bingo because your favorite friend, Emma, loves bingo, right? She loves bingo. Probably took after her paternal grandmother, sorry. She love a bingo. She love a bingo. And so you may see 200-300 people at bingo. The opposition loves that. And you can't fault them. They got to love something. But every time there's a protest in front of GCOM, they barely get 10-15 persons. 10-15 persons. Today, the mayor of Georgetown turned up. Well, at least we get to see him doing something. Something we get to see him doing. We want to see him do more in terms of focusing on his responsibility. He's the mayor of Georgetown. We want to see him focus on his responsibility. Nevertheless, he took up some placard and he was there today, right? So, yeah, thank you to the mayor of Georgetown for that. He did something today, right? But at the end of the day, when was the last time you guys, most of those MPs, you don't see them. When was the last time you see them out protesting? When was the last time that they are fighting for your rights? You don't see them. But when you confront them, they're either busy on their other job, they're not feeling well, they find some sort of excuse, excuses upon excuses not to be there. Not to be there. How then can we be comfortable with these people? How? You guys tell me, how can we be comfortable with them? Some of these MPs, they just go out once in a blue moon, they make sure the camera there, they show their face, and they disappear. And then they're going to be texting each other now. They say, don't worry, Ben Sharp. Don't worry, Ben Sharp, like talk too much. That's all they're concerned about. The bumps raised, they get very emotional quickly. They believe people must just run up to them, right? Run up to them and kiss them up. Well, we're not in that kissing game. Oops, I'm sorry about that, guys. You see, some folks were laughing about this situation, but at least Trump is brave enough. Trump is brave enough to walk up to his wife and stretch out his lip to kiss she, bend down underneath the hat for dig a kissing she publicly. Some of those politicians in Guyana, we don't even see them with a wife. We don't even know if they get a wife. We don't even know if they get a husband. We hardly see them with any family kind of outing, family portrait. Nothing. We don't see them. But at least Trump do a thing. Trump dig a kiss. He digging a kiss. Whether he get through with a kiss or not, he dig a kiss. And so tonight, we want to play this here. Some of you might know it, but this is for Trump and he kiss. This is for Trump and he kiss. हम बनी तुम बनी एक दूजे Kelie, right? From the movie Ikiduje Kelie. Is it Rajan? But Humbani is a love song, and so they're in love. The point I'm making is that apart from Humbani, Humbani, Tumbani, Ikiduje Kelie, apart from that, what I'm trying to say, the point that I'm trying to make is, when was the last time you guys, when was the last time Shelley Douglas and all of y'all saw any opposition politician? Forget about them Pakus in the PPP regime. When was the last time y'all saw Aubrey Norton, the leader of the opposition, dig a kiss? Sorry about that, guys. I'm sorry about that. But the point is, though, we need to see our leaders. They must have this human thing about them. And family is very important. And so this guy, Trump, as he is, Trump, Putin good friend, Kim Jong-un buddy, right? The dictator, friends of the dictators. Now, he wasn't afraid. He went, he raised up Shahat. Look him out, though. Look, hey, Trump. But I'm sorry about that, guys. We don't see. Just imagine if you gotta do it. You gotta dig your kiss publicly. You gotta let people see that you're human. You gotta take family pictures. You gotta hang out with your kids and go to breakfast. I'm teaching some of those politicians in the opposition, the senior ones, them how to do this thing. Because when you do things like that, you win hearts, you win people, you win family, you win women, and so forth. But when they see you walk around all over by yourself, it's like they begin to wonder. Is what happening? They begin to wonder, like, is what going on here? And so the more, on a serious note, though, the more you appeal as a family-oriented man or a woman in politics, the more you'll get people, serious-minded voters, family-oriented people, and so forth, come closer to you because they see what you do. They see you're having breakfast. And these politicians, these senior politicians in Guyana, at least at some point in time, they have to start showing us the human side of them. They're out in their garden planting something. They're having breakfast with their wives, their husbands, or their family, and these things. Or they're going to the movie, or they're at the park, and these sort of things. We need to see that. It goes a long way. A long way it goes. Long gone are those days, even during Bornham time. We see Bornham and his wife. We see Bornham and his kids. We saw Desmond Hoyt and his wife. And, of course, the unfortunate situation with his daughters. But we saw him and his wife. We saw them. Robert Corbyn and his wife and his kids and so forth. David Granger and his wife and his kids and so forth. But we're not seeing anything these days. Why aren't we seeing these things? We need to see. And now this is not getting personal with anybody. It's not. It's not getting personal. I'm just giving some free advice that we need to see these things. It matters. Some of you old-timers might suck your teeth and think that it doesn't matter. It matters, guys. It matters. I notice Brenda James is chewing her teeth. Some of you LOL. Is what going on? Y'all laughing at me? Let me see if y'all laughing at me. Quick, block y'all. Quick. Y'all get it? I wouldn't do that to you guys. Let's agree to disagree. Some of you might, but most of you agree with me. Wayne Caesar is asking where Jack Day wife there. Jack Day had a fake marriage, though. Because they knew about the image. He had a fake marriage. And these are the things, a fake marriage. But he and Ashley, what's her name, Ashley? Yeah. Dig a little kiss publicly and thing wrong. And all manner of things, born. And they're going to get blocked tonight, born. And that James, watch me, she get him blocked tonight. Somebody asked if Kwame get a wife. Y'all will be surprised. Y'all know Kwame went to marry a little girl? Yeah, Kwame went already living home. So, these guys went and get tech up, even though it might be a camouflage or whatever it is. Somebody asks him with Lemon, they want to see Lemon wife and want to see Lemon in public. So, I'm not a public figure, so I don't consider myself a public figure. Maybe you never know, but as of now, I'm just a talk show host. I'm just an ordinary talk show host. I am your servant. I'm here to do your job for you, right? I am not a public figure. If you notice, I don't ever describe myself as a social media influencer, a public figure, and that's not me. I'm your servant. I work for you. I work for you, and I am satisfied doing that. I noticed Rhonda Lane is with us. Rhonda Lane said, remember moonshine did not. Good night to you, Rhonda. Rhonda, how many of you guys were out there today? Give us a countdown. While Annette Ferguson and Aliyah Waldron trash it out there, big scratch fight, big fight going on there. Big fight going on in the audience there. Big fight going on. You can see who win the fight. All right, so what else it is that you guys want us to talk about? Talk to me. We're here. We are all friends, and we are not enemies of the opposition. We don't dislike the opposition. At least I don't dislike the opposition, but we want them to do the right thing. We're calling them out. Go out, guys. This is an elections year. You've got to do the right thing. You've got to. And we need to see images of our politicians, our senior politicians, from a family standpoint. We need to see that. We need to see them in churches too, whether they go to a Christian church, whether they go to a Hindu temple or a masjid. It doesn't matter. We need to see the side of our politicians, the human side, so to speak. It shouldn't be all the time they run into somewhere, take a picture with some people, and then run up to Linden, kick a little football, and run down. But we need to see the family side of things, the softer side of things. At least we saw Aubrey Norton doing his dance. Good night to Mr. Norton. We need to see more the human side of our politicians, not this kind of stupid, dotish kind of dance like this guy here.
How we gonna do a body man walk right now? You ready? Fuck, so let me go now. Hear me sing now. Body walk, body walk, body walk, body walk, truck, body walk, body walk, body walk, body. Listen, body jump, body jump, body jump.
Not that stupidness, not that we're talking about. Decent stuff, by the way. Yeah. So what else is going on? Yanat Elias is saying Baldio warning to the immigrants. I don't know who is Baldio, and what's his warning. I don't know who is Baldio, or I think I saw somebody mention something about Baldio. I don't know who that is. But if you're talking about a Baldio in Queens who is running for office again, mind you, well, that's a different story. I don't know what's the warning now to immigrants. A lot of those guys, PPP supporters, they were all bent and Trump and abusing people and cussing people. And now they see the effect. They see what's likely to happen. They see what is likely to happen. So again, I don't know who's Baldio, at least what Baldio you guys are talking about. And speaking of Trump, this is what's happening in New York. New York's Attorney General, is Trish James, New York joins states suing Trump administration over birthright citizenship executive order. It's a silly executive order, and it's an unlawful executive order. That's what it is. And so Trish James is basically saying exactly that they are suing. They are suing the Trump administration for birthright. Now, birthright citizenship, a lot of these PPP ministers and MPs and so forth, they're guilty. They're guilty of these sort of things because they leave Guyana and they come to the U.S. specifically to give birth. That is what they do. They specifically leave Guyana with the intention to just give birth. And some PPP ministers did just that. They left Guyana quickly and they came over here to give birth. It is called anchor baby. Anchor baby. That is what we know. Anchor baby. So you travel all the way to the US. And not only Guyanese do that, or Caribbean people. A lot of those people from Asia, people from Europe and so forth, they do that. A lot of them do that. And that is what Trump wants to finish up and say that the 14th Amendment, Trump is now interpreting the 14th Amendment for us. So it doesn't suit his agenda. So he feels that can be excluded out of the 14th Amendment by way of a simple executive order. No, it doesn't work like that. And attorney generals in about 18, probably the number is growing, 18 to whatever amount of states now have filed lawsuits against the Trump administration to say, no, it is not going to operate, because for over 100 plus years, or close to 200 years, people have been considered U.S. citizens, regardless of whether their parents or so are illegal. The mother, in this case, the mother. What if the mother is illegal and the father is either a citizen or a permanent resident? Then what happens? Is it just for those who are, like, for example, if both parents are illegal? Is that what they're saying? Because what if a father has citizenship or permanent residency, and the whoever it is come from Guyana, Jamaica, wherever, on a visitor's visa and gives birth in the U.S.? What happens in that case? What happens now for all those hundreds of thousands of people who have registered their babies as U.S. citizens because they were born right here in the United States? They have birth certificates and they have their passports and so forth. What happens now? Or is it that Trump is saying that moving forward, because of course the court you guys will hear more about tomorrow about that in the court. Of course, there will be a court hearing and the court is going to stop it. Trump wants it to go all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court, where he feels that he's going to get an advantage there. But it doesn't stop there. Congress will now have to do something. And here is where you guys come in. The midterm elections is next year, and that is where you guys come in. Right now, there's a slim majority. The Republicans have a slim majority, and that is why next year, midterm elections, it has to change. It has to get back to the majority, and not majority by just one or two extra seats, by at least 10 to 15 seats. It's got to be that way. And you see what happens when you don't go out and vote. And some of you who say, oh, you don't vote and you don't, well, you see the consequences. As the governor of New York, Kathy Hochul, said, elections have consequences. And when you don't vote, it has serious consequences. And that is exactly what's happening now. Flouting the Constitution's dictates, Trump's executive order denying birthright citizenship met with immediate federal lawsuits. Immediate federal lawsuits. Meanwhile, guess what? You don't want me to tell you guys that while this guy is holding up a sign saying, "Make America Great Again," anyways, he may have some member of family that anchor baby and birthright issues. You never know. And these guys, they don't think before they do things. Which ambassador, getting back to Sam Hines, which ambassador behaves in this way? Do you see the ambassador of Jamaica, of Barbados, of Trinidad and Tobago? Do you see them behaving in this insane manner? This man is behaving as though they just let him out of Borby's mental institution. Take a look at Sam Hines. Sam Hines didn't even know what he's doing. assuming this is Sam Hines, right? Because, Photoshop and these are the things. But thus far, Sam Hines nobody for the PPP regime has denied that this is him. So therefore, we have to assume that this is him. Take a look at Sam Hines. These guys are good kissers. They're good lickers. And if they're good kissers and lickers and so forth, then they need to continue frequenting the cathedral, because they will do good there. Sam Hines will do good as a licker right there. And you guys know what I mean by a licker at the cathedral. Now, there might be some folks who say, well, why is Ben Sharp talking about the cathedral? What about the cathedral? What licks there and what don't licks there and whatever. Sorry about that, guys. I should not be talking about that. I'm a decent guy. I go to church sometimes. But this is the guy. Shame and disgrace. Absolute shame and disgrace. What else you guys want us to talk about? We just have a few minutes more. Just a few minutes more. I noticed Annette Ferguson and somebody warring. Big war going on there. Big war going on there. I don't, sometimes you take your criticism and you move on. You don't have to come and justify and fight back and war back. So what is Baldeo saying? I don't know what Baldeo is saying. What exactly is Baldeo saying? I don't know. But let us take a look at what Rhonda Lane is saying. Mark, I think the opposition heads needs to come together here, send a stern letter. Okay. What Rhonda is saying here, and we know Rhonda knows to read and write, and she can write, but sometimes these things do happen. She said, Mark, I think the opposition heads need to come together and send a stern letter to GCOM with what the chairman has said about what we were calling for, biometrics and clean voters list. Kudos to folks like Rhonda Lane, whether it rains, whether it's sun, whether it snows in Guyana. Rhonda Lane and a few other folks have been out there. They have been calling for this for a long, long time. They have been at it. They have been consistent. They don't show up just for one day, show up for one day and then disappear, and then go back when the camera is there and then disappear again. They've been consistent. And I want to say kudos to folks like Rhonda Lane and the few others who go out there. They need to be consistent, and there need to be hundreds of people. I noticed Dr. David Hines is calling. Well, we need to see those guys. We need to see those guys and so forth out there. We need to see them. So let's. Annette Cummings, how are you, Annette? Annette Cummings, that is. Hi, Annette Cummings. Annette Cummings is saying, Baldeo told his supporters to disobey the immigration officers. Not sure that Baldeo has supporters at this time. So Jaiwan, let me see what Jaiwan saying, or G1. G1. I almost mistaken you for Gunmaster G9 from the movie Mitum Chakrabarti. Gunmaster. So G1 is saying here, Mark, why Abidis by? Right? You could tell G1 typing all the way from the basement there, right? All the way there in the basement to man, G1. So anyway, G1 is saying, Mark, why Abidis by Balde was indirectly telling ICE where to find illegals. The banner was calling out restaurants, security, cooks, waitresses. Balde probably going crazy. Balde is running for some office. Balde knows what he's talking about. Balde was a lawyer. I'm not sure if his bar license was reinstated. I'm not sure. But Baldeo used to be a lawyer, and Baldeo now is running for some office there in Queens. And so I got to check on what Baldeo is saying. I don't know what he's saying. I don't know what he has said. But I don't know. Are you guys sure that he's telling the ICE people where to go? where to find illegals in some restaurants, in some bars. I don't know, but I saw there's a bar, there's a club in Queens, somewhere in Liberty Avenue, Regent Club or something like that. They had a fight there. Some guys, maybe the owners or whoever, were kicking up a woman, and all these things are unacceptable. Now, I'm not going to be the kind of guy that will talk publicly where I should go and where I shouldn't go. ICE already know where they got to go. They know who they're targeting. They know where they're going. They have a list of the high profiles. They know where they're going. They know what they have to do. And Baldeo, I'm not sure, somebody said that he is telling people not to cooperate with ICE. You see, you've got to be law-abiding. And a Border Patrol agent was shot and killed yesterday. Was actually shot and killed during a road stop. And they've arrested, and one of, I'm not sure if the suspect, but one person is a German national. The other one is an American citizen. And I don't know who the others are. And I've noticed that the senior immigration guys may have wanted to put that Hukun, or whatever his name is, the incoming border czar, probably wanted to blame it on immigrants, but it turned out that the folks are probably Caucasian and so forth and so on. That is why they're silent on that. But condolences to the family of that border agent who was shot and killed. So now we've got to be extra careful. Law enforcement officers are there to do their job, but if they are doing their job, the execution of their job, in an illegal manner, then it is questionable. They have to follow the law. They cannot violate people's rights and kick into people's doors, and they have to have a warrant. They have to be properly equipped based on the law, and they should not be violating people's rights. And if your rights are being violated, and if they are going through other means, illegal means to get to you, then by all means you have a right to stand firm based on your legal rights, that is. And some may argue that undocumented people don't really have rights and all these sort of things. People do have a right. There's something called due process. And if someone is undocumented, then you want to ensure that that person, there is due process. And due process doesn't mean you just grab somebody, dash them in a boat, and send them back. It doesn't operate like that. It doesn't operate like that at all. And this brings me to, as we prepare to wrap up, I want to show you guys something, and we'll leave with a prayer. And this is a powerful prayer. Powerful prayer. So, powerful prayer. This is what I want to leave you guys with tonight. And understand the message. Understand the message here as we prepare to leave you guys tonight on 107.1 FM.
Ask you to have mercy upon the people in our country who are scared now. There are gay, lesbian, and transgender children in Democratic, Republican, and independent families, some who fear for their lives. And the people who pick our crops and clean our office buildings, who labor in poultry farms and meatpacking plants, who wash the dishes after we eat in restaurants and work the night shifts in hospitals, they may not be citizens or have the proper documentation. But the vast majority of immigrants are not criminals. They pay taxes and are good neighbors. They are faithful members of our churches and mosques, synagogues, wadara, and temples. I ask you to have mercy, Mr. President, on those in our communities whose children fear that their parents will be taken away. and that you help those who are fleeing war zones and persecution in their own lands to find compassion and welcome here. Our God teaches us that we are to be merciful to the stranger, for we were all once strangers in this land. May God grant us the strength and courage to honor the dignity of every human being, to speak the truth to one another in love, and walk humbly with each other and our God for the good of all people in this nation and the world. Amen.
Take a look at the facial expressions. Take a look at the First Lady. Take a look at the Vice President. Take a look at all of their facial expressions. Take a look. You think they liked what they heard? They were upset. It pissed them off. Look at J.D. Vance. Take a look at his forehead. They're just laughing at that prayer. It means nothing to them. It just flew past them just like that. The same Trump who said just yesterday that God kept him alive for a reason. But take a look at the mockery.
Amen.
They weren't comfortable at all. And so that prayer is what it is. There needs to be compassion. Immigrants, whether they are undocumented or not, human beings have rights. And those rights should be respected. They should be treated with dignity. Now, if they're going to be going after the criminals, the really, really bad hombres, it's fair play. But even those bad hombres may have to go through due process, because we live in a land supposed to be of the free. Democratic values ought to be upheld. The rule of law champions everything else. We cannot have or live in a country where some people feel that it belongs to only them. And some people feel that they're the only ones in the United States of America by way of their skin color. At some point in time, all of us, all of our ancestors came to the United States of America. Some undocumented and some properly documented. All, whether from Germany, whether from Russia, whether from Yugoslavia, whether from Australia, whether from Greece. And speaking of Greece, whether from Guyana, that is headed by Jack Deo right now. Regardless of where, immigrants are human beings. They should not be rounded up and put in cages, concentration camps, like what happened to the Japanese, and even the discrimination against Indians many, many years ago. Not the American Indians, Indians from India, and the Chinese and everyone, and the Africans, and even the Jews weren't treated fairly. So now is not the time to be laughing at undocumented individual, because almost every family, almost every one of you watching this program right now can relate to that. Almost every one of you watching this program right now has some member of your family or some close friend or some family member or some family friend or someone that you know on the block has come to America for a better life. They're all human beings and should be treated with that sort of respect. You cannot round kids up, round an entire family up, and pretend as though you don't care. Some of them who are talking so tough, they will tell you that they're Italian, they're from Australia. This time they were born here, but their four parents came from there as immigrants, some as undocumented. And they work their way up to straighten their status. And other folks, whether they're from Guyana, whether from any part of the Caribbean or wherever, also have that right. There's a difference, though, with those who have broken the law. We're talking about criminal convictions and all these things. There's a difference. There's a difference, though, with drug lords. There's a difference, though, with terrorists. There's a difference, though, with big gang leaders and murderers and so forth. There's a difference. But the vast majority of undocumented people are not those types. They're hardworking, decent people who are looking for a better life for their children and for themselves. It is painful to hear some folks' stories. And what is also equally painful is those individuals, some of those lawyers out there who are taking advantage of individuals because of their circumstances. Now, there are good lawyers, and don't get me wrong, but there are some unscrupulous ones out there who are preying on these people, these undocumented people, because of their situation. It's got to change. That's why I like the approach of Congresswoman Yvette Clarke. Maybe sometime soon she'll be back on this show. She's putting up a fight. Many of you should go on her page. Letitia James, the Attorney General, is putting up a fight. And that is what we need. People's rights should not be trampled upon. Some of you may say, oh, yeah, there's laws in a country and so forth. Some of you who are talking about there's laws in a country and it should be respected, I agree with you. But the same ones, some of them who are talking about the laws should be respected of a country, broke the law. Some of them broke the law to come to America. Some came backtrack, and some talking as though they've never done these sort of things. We've got to be careful, guys, what we wish for. And so I wouldn't call on anybody to go after people in somebody's basement in Queens or somebody attic in Brooklyn or in the Bronx or whatever. But whatever ICE agents are going to be doing, they should do it within the confines of the law. And with that I say, let your heart not be troubled. Continue to be cautious and continue to do what is right. Those of you who have an opportunity to fix yourselves, do that, immigration-wise. Do that within the confines of the law. That's all I wish to say. God bless you all. See you tomorrow, same place, same time. And
girl, come my way, no matter what time of day. Baby.
Good afternoon, Miss Kennedy.
Yes. Yes. You know I said I wanna give you some sweet love on the night shift, later on the night shift. Oh baby, come hold me tight, I'll treat you right there on shift, baby. Yeah. So every man who I love in the night, yeah, stick the rubber dub under the bedroom light, yeah. She crawl up in my arms like a spider. But the thing at the pinky where she inside her. Don't me introduce her to me money energizer. Loving in abundance, she get us me no miser. She starts in a phrase like the phantom synthesizer. I go to man in my arms, me squeeze her tighter. I wanna give you some sweet love, on the night shift. Later on the night shift. Oh, baby, come hold me tight. I'll treat you right, yeah. On the night shift, baby, darling. Sun gone in, star come out. Moonlight a shine right through your house. Light the candles, me girl, move the couch. Tonight me want hear when you say, ooh, I'm out. Knock off your phone, no make nobody call you.